everybody. Happy Tuesday evening. I'm Dr. Jordan Leasure. I'm the owner and physician of North Shore Proactive Health, a state-of-the-art wellness clinic in northern Chicago suburbs. And yes, my face is still peeling. This was deliberate. No, it does not hurt. I think those are the two questions I'm getting most recent. And fingers crossed, I will be done tomorrow. So we're talking tonight about a stress paradigm. What is a stress paradigm and what can you do about a stress paradigm? So for a lot of different people, what you interpret as stress, what you are aware of as stressors will vary greatly. So depending on where you are, and this can ebb and flow over time, obviously right now, all of us are under a considerable amount of stress, and that stress will vary again depending on your circumstance. There are plenty of individuals whose circumstance hasn't changed much. For my husband, he's in technology. He is working probably more than before, working from home. Things have not changed in their world as far as digital documentation storage. Obviously, things are on the rise for them. I have a lot of individual friends that are in the hospitality industry. And who have obviously not been working since this started. I have a considerable number of friends that are entrepreneurs that own brick and mortar businesses that are either completely shut down or working at 10, 15, 30, 40% of what they should be under normal circumstances. And that's not to say that under normal circumstances, people are like raking in big bucks. For a lot of individuals that own a brick and mortar business, they do it out of the love of the game, so to speak. And they're not necessarily raking in money hand over fist. So if they go from, breaking even to now suddenly they're bringing in 40% of what they were before, that is still very challenging times for them. So everyone's stress level and stress capacity right now is going to change. What is a stress paradigm? It is what you view as stress. What are you aware of as your stressors? For some individuals, that could be being in a crowded room. For some people, it's being by themselves. It may be the loss of a job. Someone else may view that as an opportunity. So every individual one of us has a different stress paradigm. That stress paradigm will change throughout your life. And again, that stress paradigm will change depending on the amount of outside stress or concurrent stress that you're under. So let's say when I was in chiropractic school, my consistent stress was at a much different level than when I was in undergrad, than, now that I own a business. So that, let's call that like a background noise. That background stress will change. If you are in a stressful relationship, if you're in an abusive relationship versus if you're in a positive supportive relationship, that background stress is going to change. If you have children, so you get my drift here. Each of us has a very unique set of background stressors or a stress paradigm. So what you need to be aware of is, number one, recognizing what your stress paradigm is right now. Number two, you need to recognize what are your trigger stressors. So again, for some people that could be driving, that could be going into work if it's a situation that you don't appreciate very much. On the reverse, it could be going home. Again, if you have a stressful home life, if being with your children is exceedingly stressful. So again, that has changed over the course of the last few months. And then finally, what do we all need to be aware of is how do we address that stress? What are you actively doing so that you're able to maybe remove yourself from a stressful situation, if that is a possibility? Or number two, how are you able to conquer or deal with that stress if you're not able to remove yourself or avoid the situation or the type of stress altogether? Now, some of that can be the activities that we've already covered. So it could be actively breathing. It could be actively doing some biofeedback. So being able to control your heart rate, being able to control your breath, being able to control your thoughts. And then number three, it's making sure that you are actively in as high of a functioning capacity as you can be on an everyday level, so that when those stressors happen, they don't have such a profound effect on you. So that could be making sure that you're not eating inflammatory foods, so that your level of stress on your system is brought down a little bit. It could be knowing, again, which foods are going to be inflammatory for you, so you can consciously decide, you know, if you're going into work on Monday and that is a high stress situation for you, and your boss is one of your triggers, then maybe you want to be, you know, careful on Sunday night and not eat some of those triggering foods, not drink alcohol, you know, make sure that you are very well hydrated, make sure you get your sleep, so that when you put yourself in that situation come Monday morning, your threshold is as low as possible. And a lot of us, I don't think, realize that we really can actively control how we respond or how our body responds to some of these situations. So you need to think of yourself almost like an athlete going, you know, preparing for a competition, or, you know, a soldier going into battle. You know, what do they do the night before? What does their training look like? And each of us can do that and ongoing. And it doesn't need to be obviously as hardcore as someone, you know, training for, for a performance. But essentially, that's what life is. And if you have some of these triggering events and you do some prep work, then how you respond, you will be prepared, and you will possibly, you know, be able to conquer that situation with less effort than you would if you were already on pins and needles and you're at your threshold and your body can't handle any more tension, and now you put yourself in this excessively stressful situation. So those were just a couple quick touch points I wanted to run down on what our stress paradigm is, how can we better prepare for stressful situations, and how are we implementing some of those tools that we've learned to practice. Again, the best time to practice is when you're not stressed, and of course that hasn't happened in the last 90 days for a lot of us. So I want you to actively work on those activities. So keep your gratitude journal, practice your breathing exercises, get out there, work out, watch what you're eating, all of the healthy habits we've been discussing over the last couple months here. So thank you for tuning in. We've got a fun week ahead. So please, if you found this useful, share. If you're watching on the replay, let me know when you're watching. If you're watching live, say hello, give me a thumbs up, let me know you're there. It's always more fun when these are interactive. And fingers crossed, my face is all healed up tomorrow. I can actually like wear makeup again. Thanks for tuning in. Sweet dreams. Have a great night. Bye-bye.